I love how insightful and how honest you are about the way that you see your life, my friend. That's
Thank you
super
so
cool the
much.
way you share. It makes a
Thank
big difference when people can see that truth within you.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because a lot of people are like, "Oh, you want a unicorn?" Like, "Oh, private jets, yachts. What do you
Mhm.
which ones are you gonna buy first?" I'm like, "None." I said,
Yeah.
That's not who I am. That's not how I grew up. We grew up not being allowed to waste food. We don't waste food. My kids understand not to waste food, right? There's no ego here. Like, I have no problem buying food from Too Good to Go.
Mhm.
Are you familiar with that new program?
No.
So it's basically restaurants that can't sell the food by the end of the day. They discount it.
Great. What's wrong with
Whole
that?
Foods? No,
Yeah.
no. A lot of people would not do that. They're like, "Oh, too
Too
good for"
bougie.
Yeah, it's
Too
too yeah.
bougie. Yeah, that's there's a place in the world that I get it, and we feel that's the ego thing we were talking about again. That's that getting that punch in your stomach, the punch in your heart that you're doing something that is exceptional, but it's not. It's just money. It has nothing to do with that truth that you're talking about, and that part is exciting to me. When you wake up with that feeling inside that there's a potential and you've left that lane open, that's when I think life becomes, you can't replace it with things, I mean, I came from a place where things seem to make sense. I was raised that way. That's my conditioning. And I like to joke now. Yeah, I want to be able to drive a Ferrari for 6 months. I don't want to own it. I'm going to assume somewhere down the road, I'm going to have a client that's going to say, Dean, I need you to watch my Ferrari for 6 months. And I'll be like, sure. But I don't have the drive to necessarily need these things in my life as items anymore. But I don't want to take the experience away from either, because I believe living in this exceptional place called Earth, that we're here for the experiences that we live in. And those big ones, when we hit those marks, that was the whole purpose we came here, was to live through that experience, to be able to give back or to be able to change, like you said, in that way where it's irreversible. You created a momentum in a direction that actually is healing. And that's our purposes. As big as we want to see them, we could get into that, fear, FOMO, or imposter syndrome if you listen to people. But if you follow that light within you and you drive through that, I think that personally, it's the mission's already laid out. You just have to be that cog in the wheel.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I like my Ritz-Carltons.
See? Yeah.
Don't
We
get
can
me
all
wrong.
enjoy it. Yeah, we can all enjoy the experiences.
We work so hard that we're like, "You know what? When we're going on vacation, we'll
You
splurge and we
deserve
will
it.
stay in
You
a nice"
deserve it. Yeah, that's the
Absolutely.
experiences we worked hard for. And I understand where your alignment is and what you're saying too. And I think that in the middle of that is where we see ourselves as humans. I believe that that's the part that's growing around us, and that's where I'm excited to meet you as a new friend. We're going to continue to stay in touch and go through how this is going to turn out for you over the next year or so. I can't wait, to hear the successes and how your kids are built into it too.
I mean, I didn't even tell you about I told you about the bubble party, right? The foam truck? The
Tell
bubble
me.
truck?
Tell me.
So, last year was it last year? Okay, so it was last March. I was like, "Okay, the kids, they're gonna have to learn something this summer." And summer schooling is. Summer school is not gonna teach them anything. And actually, the summer school that special education puts you in, it's called extended school year.
Mm.
Basically, you're with your neurodivergent crowd. There are no neurotypical peers to model good behavior.
Huh.
And so, if you believe in the fact that you are 80% of who you surround yourself with,
Yeah.
then my kids are coming home with a lot of bad behaviors.
Yeah, right? Because the audience.
Nobody to model behaviors with them. And so I said, "You know what? Last year, I'm like, you guys aren't going to do your extended school year anymore. You guys don't need it. What are we going to do? We're going to start a company." And so I'm like, "I'm going to teach you everything from the ground up." I said, "But I wanted something that was already kind of done for me because I didn't have a whole lot of time from March until we started in June." So I started looking for franchises to buy. So I bought the Bubble Truck franchise for San
What
Diego.
is that?
So the phone parties at nightclubs?
Yeah?
Yeah, that except it's for kids. Tear-free, mess-free.
Oh, I
Glu
see. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and so I
For
bought
parties and
it.
things like that.
Yes, exactly. A lot of school parties, birthday parties, everything. I didn't tell my husband. Had every single thing done, and then one day he's like, "So what have you been up to?" I'm like, "Oh, I bought a franchise," and he's like, "Oh my god,
No, that's awesome.
so what did you do?" I'm like, I just felt like teaching the kids how to run a new company this summer.
Just that
And
experience
so
alone, they're gonna see that.
they saw it, they understood. So the youngest was in charge of telling us, like, what colors to make the foam, how much fun it was if we did things this way versus that way. The middle one, was I think he was 15 at the time. He was in charge of packing all the cannons. So this cannon that went out needed how many packs of bubble powder, needs an extension cord, needs whatever. He did that, and then my daughter did all the social media.
That is awesome. And they
So
all
all
bought in.
they loved it, and then my
Of course
husband's
they
like
did.
he once he understood what it was, we got school contracts just like that because we had no
'Cause it's
competition.
blessed. You're blessed. And when you teach your children how they can contribute and how to earn and how to create,
Mhm.
that's the lessons in life, right? Isn't that it?
Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. I exposed my son to that at a younger age. I always said my son was more street smart than book smart when he grew up. And I taught him what I understood about making money, and he's just amazing at it. And then my daughter, she took the other route. She wanted to be a pharmacist, which is not the route I went on as far as schooling goes. And so it was a little bit of a different path of understanding like how to nurture that and not get in the way. And now she's in her young 30s and we're going through some of these same lessons, her and I, that I went through with my son, even though she's a little older. But it's still the parent's place to be a part of this and then to give them that kind of rite of passage, like you're good to go. I'll stand behind you at this point now. And I think that they learn that from all different ways. Like when my son had problems in high school, I'd take him for a walk to the park with a golf club, and we would sit there and hit golf balls, chip them around, talk about the issue, and get down to whatever it was we had to get down to. It was never one of these formal settings where there was, that fear and intimidation put into it. I just, it's neat because I could see him growing out and around that, and the patience of how humans develop is so special when you're tuned into it and you believe and you see it. And I have 2 30-year-old kids that are amazing contributors to the world. And they've done better than I have in their lives at this point, as far as I'm concerned. We gave them that 10-year step up, which is all I really hope to do.
Mm,
And then you go behind and you just support the best you can. But yeah, those nurturing years that you're involved in and being creative like that and finding those ways, that's super special.
mhm.
That's going to come out the other side of that really with some great stories for them too.
Thank you. So what could I
Yeah.
help you with?
We'll figure that out down along the line. You're already helping me. I love your mirror. Just seeing your conversation behind this is inspiring to me to realize that there's humans out there
Mhm.
like myself contributing into the collective. And the more I see that, the more I just become inspired to continually moving forward.
Amazing. Mentor several years ago who taught me basically give, give, get.
Give,
Use
give,
get.
get.
Yes. It's
It took me a
very
little
ea
bit to figure that out too.
it's a very
Yeah,
easy
it's a good
concept.
equation. When I came out, I was sales because there's nobody better.
Mhm.
And I moved into referral marketing and realizing that, it really isn't about the point to points that you meet in life. It's really about embracing those relationships and supporting what they need in that relationship. And like I said, if you're shining a big enough spotlight, the revenues will follow in some other way or in the way that you hope, and you'll understand why it happened. But it's never about getting, like you said. It's about giving and giving into that, and then eventually that reciprocal ideal comes back through. I see it like an etherical bank where we put coins in this side all day long by our actions, and the other side they pop out in referrals and relationships and connections. So that is just a natural element to the universe. And once we embrace that understanding of in and out, then there's no other way to do it. It's just about investing your heart in this day. And some days you can't really add it up by how many buttons you pushed. They're not going to get that feeling at the end of the day like I did this thing. So it's about learning within yourself how to be comfortable with life happening in the pace that it needs to happen too, as fast and as hard as you push.
You know what? One thing I was most impressed with Site SoCal is that all the egos were checked at the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
There
That's a social occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Well,
is
I mean,
neat.
I've been to many, many networking events where
Have
it's
you?
like, "Well, I'm so and so, and I know so and
Yeah.
so," and
Yeah. In the
there was
hospitality industry, you tend to run into more humans in the way that I like to describe them. I
Mhm.
always joke that everybody in the hospitality industry is in the spectrum somewhere. That's just why they fit into it. And so we find that to be our friendship and our audience, and we plug in that way. even the conversations, the way that we have, they're in snippets in the way that way you have conversations. Nobody's demanding your attention for any longer than 15 or 20 seconds. Like there's this natural rhythm and cadence to the idea. And I accepted that a few years back and realized like, oh, these are my people. That's why I dig this. And I could go home and try and explain what I do to my family all day long, and none of them ever figure it out. Nobody ever understands what I do actually do. But in that setting, inside SoCal, everybody understands exactly what we do. And it's all understood. I find it very refreshing as an industry. And coming from the hotel side where I worked with a lot of different industries, you're right. There's a lot of ego in different industries when they gather. But in the hospitality industry, it's a little bit of a different game. It's a cool place to be.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. It's been a lot. It's been fun talking to you today, my friend. We're going to get back on this thing and do it again soon. Ah,
Thank
take
you.
care of yourself. God bless the family and best your holidays.
Thank you. You too. All right.